Masechet Batra Daf Kuf Nun He Amud Aleph, continuing from Kuf Nun Dar Amud 17 lines down. Tashma's being a proof. We're still discussing whether or not a person who is claiming regarding a document, if he certified a document, is that good enough? Do you need to certify a document if the guy admitted that he wrote the document? Tashma's being a proof. Sha'ar Bibi Shimon ben Lakish Rabbi Yohanan. Zu the following, whose opinion is the following in the Braita Mishnah Bar Kapara? Guy is coming into the field, everybody assumed it's his. Someone raises a challenge and rumors saying, no, that field doesn't belong to me, it's mine. And this guy who was eating the fruits pulled out a document saying, no, you sold it to me. Oh, you give it to me as a gift. If the guy was yelling at him saying, I don't recognize the document, you certify it through the signers. If they say that it is just a pasim document means someone who writes a sketch document that something belongs to him, just so that it gives him societal power. Like, look what I own. Oh, shtar amana, or a document that was written on trust. I didn't sell anything to him yet, but I wrote the document ahead of time, assuming that he would buy it. I gave him the field, but he didn't pay me yet. If his witnesses that this happened, you go follow witnesses. If there's no witnesses, you go after what the document says. The Mishnah follows like Meir, if someone admits that he drafted a document, the guy is going against him, doesn't have to certify it, but goes against the Rabbanan. Where it says, no, not a proof. Because maybe it's possible to say, everybody agrees that if the guy who, if he himself wrote the document, then you don't have to certify it. But we have the same machloket elsewhere. Those people, the witnesses who authenticate a document, are not believed to then disqualify it. Say they are believed. We see earlier as well that we see, are you able to knock out a document after the guy admits that he was the one who wrote it? So how can Rabbi Yochanan say there's no machloket on it? The Gemara says no. If the Hachamim who say that the witnesses believe witnesses because witnesses have a lot of power and therefore they could undermine and knock out the document. But the guy himself, the seller, he doesn't have that power. He wrote the document. He can't believe to knock it out. He says, but you said the family members can challenge the document of the sale, like in the story of Bnei Brak. So we see that you can challenge it if you wrote it. The Gemara says, says to him, that's what my student Lazar said. I never said that. He disagrees with his student. Rabbi Zera says, oh, is prepared to deny whatever Lazar, his son student said. Maybe he'll also deny his rabbi, Rabbi Yanai, whatever Rabbi Yanai says. He said in his name. Someone drafted a document, the guy who's against him still has to certify it. But Rabbi Yochanan said to him, Rabbi lo we don't hold it as an Mishnah. But Hamim say Hamim say you have to bring a proof. So we see Rabbi Yochanan says that a proof means that it's certification of documents. We see clearly, Rabbi Yochanan says that when someone admits about a document and the guy wants to have the document certified, you have to certify it even if there's no witnesses. It says, truthfully, we agree with Rabbi Yosef. He says the following. This is what Chachamim hold, that the guy who, like in the case of the document, he says that I need you to prove that you were a shchibera, for example. I need to prove that you were dying when you said this. Rabbi says, if the guy wrote a document, the guy has to still prove that he certified it. So when Rabbi Yochanan said that everybody agrees, you don't need it certified, who does that go according to? Even though it's machloket, when there's hachamim compared to Rabbi Meir, it's still considered everyone. We see elsewhere in our Mishnah, opposite in our Mishnah. You still have to prove against this person. You have to bring a proof. Where it says, no, switch the opinions. So that Chachamim will not have to certify it. But it says, Chachamim say you are believed against What we just said that Chachamim say usually you are not believed. The Gemara says no. Epoch switch that as well. But Rabbi Yochanan that I didn't come out. Rabbi Yochanan said not Breit has Mishnah as well that you need testifying witnesses that as the proof that this document was legit. So we see that Rabbi Shlomo says that you do accept the document as good enough. The Gemara says Epoch switch that. So Rabbi Yochanan says that document works. Lema Epoch Nam B'Tivta. Does that mean that we're also switching the question that we had earlier from the case of Bnei Brak? And we switched the opinions there? La, that's not. Meaning, even Rabbi Yochanan, even generally, Rabbi Yochanan holds that you're able to certify a document as proof, and Rish Lakish would hold witnesses. It's different over there because Hachika Amar le Rabbi Yochanan Rabbi Shimon Lakish. This is what they were arguing about. This makes sense according to me. I hold generally that you could prove through the certification document. That's how the purchasers were in the field already when the family came to try to rip it out from the people in Bnei Brak. According to you, who say that you have to bring proof through witnesses, how do you explain that the guys were already there? If there was no witnesses to testify that the guy sold it as an adult, so why would we ever give him the property? The Gemara says, he agrees in that case that that challenge is not a good enough challenge because that challenge is talking about the own family, and therefore if it's a biased case, like one guy versus another guy over here, the family, no, it wasn't a good sale. Prove it. It's not a considered a challenge. My comrade, what does it mean? Because Katanaya, he's saying, he's saying your brother was a minor. We have a chazakah generally. It's generally understood that a person will the witnesses will not sign a document unless the guy they know that the person is legit an adult. So therefore, the family saying that it's not a good sale, we're already hesitant and we're not really taking them at face value. Itmar, we asked the question: how young can a person sell the properties of his dead father? Rav Amar said, Achi ben 18 שנה is be 18. Rav Huna bar Hanina Amar Nachman ben 20 שנה is be 20. Bahara and Matira Vizir asked the question. The story of Bnei Brak, where the guy sold his father's property and he died. And his family came and said, not a good sale because the kid was a minor. Can we check the body? You can't touch the body. Additionally, signs can change after death. So we see that they must have thought that the checking of the body can help them. So we see from here, makes sense according to many know that you can sell it when he's 18 years old. I know that's why that's why they wanted to check his body to hope that they would find that he did not have physical maturation hairs on his body, and therefore the sale wasn't good. But if he was 20, why would accomplishing anything by checking him? If the guy is 20 and did not have two hairs, they have to bring witnesses and proof that he's 20 years old and he's a saris. He can't have children, he's impotent. In that case, if he's the brother-in-law of his widowed sister-in-law, his brother passed away, then he has to do he doesn't do yibum or chalitza because he's ineligible to marry her. So we see from here that a 20-year-old doesn't have hair is not a proof that he's a minor, because technically he could be an adult. He just be he's impotent, and therefore it would be a good sale. The Gemara says, we proved it there. That only applies when he has already developed symptoms that he would look like a saris. And therefore, the Salad and Bebrak did not develop the symptoms. The Gemara says, even prove it. But the Mishnah Nida, over there we said he's a saris. Now, in that case, over there, we're talking about a case where we had reason to believe he's a saris. But in our case of the brother who sold it and then died, there was no reason to believe that he was a saris, and therefore we want to check his body to see if he has hairs or not. Now the Gemara says, even if he did not develop the hairs, the symptoms of a saris till he has no hairs, how old do we assume someone is not a saris? So the guy's X amount of years old, he's still not considered a saris. The Gemara says, until 36 years have passed. Get to the he would advise people how to become fertile. He would say if a person's too thin, they tell him to gain weight. If the guy's very heavy, we should tell him to lose weight. Because that would be physical maturity of the body. Sometimes he can't, a person who's either too heavy or too thin, it's his body's having trouble becoming uh, fertile, and therefore, if a person, God forbid, is impotent, he gives advice that they should change their dietary habits.